Hi, my name's Annie Moore and I'm a decorative painter, and today I'm going to do a little art journal page using some stamps and a stencil. I'm going to be using the Grum Badger mixed media book, and it's a 8.5 by 5.5. I do have these on my YouTube channel if you're interested in following along. A couple of Christmas and some flowers. And I'm going to be using DecoArt Media acrylic fluid, and I'm going to be also using some Dynasty water lily brushes, because this is almost going to be like a water color technique. And the first thing I'm going to do is apply gesso to this, and I'm going to be using the premium white gesso. Put some on my palette here. I think I'm almost to the bottom. And I'm not going to cover the whole page, just enough to apply. And I just need to get some, I didn't realize I was at the bottom of my jar here. And sometimes it's a little thick when you get to the bottom, so I might add a little bit of water to this. I'm going to be using the Palmer brush. They're 1 inch. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water to my gesso. Now you can just slap this on. It doesn't have to be fully covered. Got some chunks. It'll leave a nice texture in the background. Okay. Now, I know the lighting is a little off because it's white, and I'm going to dry that. Now, the reason I did it on the back part is so that when I put it in my book, I can put it on, I'm going to glue them on the page. So these 2 pages are glued. So the next one that I'm going to put, I'm going to glue it on this page so that I have 2 flowers on each side and the pages aren't wasted. Okay. Now I'm going to stamp my flower first because the background is blue, but my flower is pink. So I don't want blue. I want a little bit of blue, but it won't be as bad. Now you can use, I have this stamp here, and they're, what's the name of this one? It's designed by Tracy Evans for All and Create, and it's called Friendship Florals. And I'm going to be using this one and the word Peony. I'm going to take that out. They have a sunflower. I believe this might be a lily. This is noisy. And I'm going to use this word here. Okay. Now, you can use, if you have a collection of blocks, there is a big block here, or you can use the Misty stamp. Now, this will probably go a little bit in the middle because I am going to use a stencil. So probably in the middle. Now you do want to test the stamp before applying on here. So what I do is oh, I thought I had paper here. I'm gonna stamp just on the back of this page here. I'm gonna use archival Ranger ink. Okay, now there's always a trick to applying this ink on here is you rub it in, but then you also tap, because when you're tapping, the ink will stay on the, you won't get smudge of ink on your stamp. So I'm going to stamp this a couple times just to make sure that it's fully loaded. Sometimes it takes a couple tries. Try again. Pressure. So that's not bad. That's really nice and dark. I think it might be ready to put it on my page. So again, I'm gonna tap just so that all the ink is on my flower. Now I'm gonna place this about here. Try not to wiggle your stamp. You want to press down on it and lift. That's really nice. Okay, now I'm going to do the same with my word. I'm gonna just stamp on here. That's nice. And that will be right close to my flower. Nice. Okay. Now to clean your stamps, use this archival ink cleaner. I'm going to show you. I have a little video on my Facebook page on how to clean these stamps. So you're going to put some on. I lost the little rubber part. There's a little felt that goes on there. And you know what? The ink will stain. It's not going to be like it won't come clean completely, but you do want to take some of the ink off for the next project. Don't use rubbing alcohol and don't use baby wipes to clean your stamps. It will become like a sticky rubber. It will lose its shape if you continue to use that. So take care of your stamps and they'll last a very long time. So again, they're not going to come like back to its clear color, but it does remove some of the ink. Let that dry. Okay, now I'm going to make sure that my ink is dry. See a little glare. I'm not liking it. Whoops. Can't get the, it's very white and it's, I don't know why it's like that. Okay, I'm going to use Cerulean blue to start. And again, Sorry, I'm just trying to, I don't know why it's being so bright. Okay, what I want to do is add water all to the background so that this makes it like a little watercolor. So I'm going to apply it like a lot. And I'm going to try not to get some water on the ink part. So I can do a little section at a time. Okay, now I will also want to water down my paint a little bit so that it smudges on here. I can also, if you have a spray bottle, this will let the paint run. And put some here. Yeah, that might be better. Oops. Just apply, and then I'm going to wet it some more with some water. Oops. I'm going to let the paint run down. We're going to add another color in a bit. I'm going to grab paper towel. Should have put paper towel down first. Okay, now I'm going to dry this because I'm going to add a little bit of a darker blue. Okay, I'm going to probably add a couple of the same blue, but I'm going to make it a little darker, maybe along the edge. So I'm just dabbing, and then I'm going to let that run along the edge. Okay, I'm going to dry that up. So these water lily brushes are especially for watercolor techniques, watercolor painting. It'll take a while to dry just because I got a lot of water on my paper. I'm still trying. I don't know why it looks so white. But really it's blue. I'm gonna put another blue on there. Might use, oh, here's my favorite one. It's like a turquoise. Put a little bit of that on there. And while it's wet, and if you see some of the paint on the flower, you can just wipe that off. Okay, I'm gonna add this cobalt turquoise hue. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out my lighting. It's just too bright. Okay, I'm gonna use the cobalt turquoise. I'm gonna add this to my palette here. And I'm gonna apply water to my paint. So I want a puddle. This is a really pretty blue. It's sometimes it could be really messy too. So I'm gonna apply it a couple of little places, and I'm gonna just spray again. And drip that down. And add some over here. And maybe along the edge here. So they'll have two different blues. And it's good to have a spray bottle just to help water down the paint. Okay. Now, again, if you have some blue on your flower part, just use a paper towel or baby wipe and just blot it. Let's just try and get some of the water off. If I wanted it more blue, I would like I can add more. Just gonna play around with it. More blue here. Can plot this puddle down, might help a little bit. Now this blue is not as dark as what I did for this one. This one has a lot of dark blues in there. It's very light. I might add a little bit more blue. No, get some more of this cerulean blue there. And maybe I won't water it down as much. I'm gonna add a little bit more and maybe not spray as much. On the edge. Maybe add a little bit of the other color just to make it a little darker. Okay, no, I'll add water, but not as. Let it run down, and then I'll clean my flower. What's good about this paper, you can wet it as much as you want, and it's pretty tough paper. There. Let the water run. Maybe run this way. Yeah, that might be a little bit better. And then I'll just clean up my flower. And petal to the leaf, I mean. Clean that up a little bit. Dab some of this. Kind of took the paint all off of it. Play around with it. I'm just trying to take as much water off as I could. Okay, dry that up again. I think that'll be okay for my background. Grab another paper. Maybe I can take a little bit off just to add some white to it. Just dabbing some of the water off and it'll create a texture and add some white. Some off here. Nice. I'll just try and take that off. It's okay if it has a little bit of blue. That's what a little bit of, watercolor is. Like the background will never ever be the same. It'll always be different. While the background dries, I'm just going to go ahead and do the flowers. Okay, now the flower, I picked I had a lighter color. Quinacridone Magenta. And I'm gonna find it. Oh, that's not so wet on my palette. Okay, and I'm gonna use an angle brush. I'm gonna wet it, and I'm gonna turn this so I don't get paint on my arm. So we're gonna do some floats. It is a little darker color, and I'm gonna try not to touch the paper, the wet surface. So I'm going to float and walk it a little bit to the center. So my dark part will be at the bottom. Want a little bit more water in the brush than usual when you're floating. A bit along the edge because this goes behind it. Now I want to just base coat like inside this little fold here. I'm going to turn my piece around. I'm going to go along here. Walking it like to the almost halfway to the top there. The fold, I'm going to just fill that in. And it's okay if I get a little bit off the flower, that's okay. Like I said, it's watercolor, so it's not perfect. It's just playing around, relaxing. I'm just trying to show, you know, like some techniques on some art journal pages and how you may see it. Bit here. And I did go a little too far off the edge. I'm just going to wipe some off. And my paper is still wet, so I'm just trying not to get my hand on it. And again, I'm going to do this fold. Just use the tip of your angle brush. Okay, and then this flower here. I'm going to add a little bit more water to my brush. I'm not adding a lot of pressure when I'm floating. Just gently tap it so that you have the dark at the bottom and it lighter as you're going up. Yeah, you have some little bit of blue in there. It's very pretty. And then over here. And I'll just blend in that fold. Okay, now I want to use a darker color, so I'm going to dry that. And I have Quinacridone Violet to make it a little darker. Okay, same angle brush. Okay, this could be a little dark, like too dark, but no, it's actually pretty. I'm gonna add that on the edge there. Very pretty. So I'm doing this, but it's not as wide as the first float. And color the side there. I need a little bit more water. I turn my piece often. Along the edge there. Okay, now the other flower. Go on there. And I'm going to do the fold. And I have this one over here. There. So you don't really need a highlight because the white in the background is your highlight. Okay, and then the leaf, I picked yellow, green, light. Don't need a whole lot of this one. Okay, and it's more like towards the bottom. And then over here. Swatch it a little bit. There, and that's it for that. Now, I didn't really do anything with the stem. And you can add a little bit of burnt umber, like a little bit of watered down burnt umber. Let me just check this out. I'll have the supply that I used in the description below the video. I want it a little bit more watered down, not as solid, so I'm going to just take some off. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to dry that. For this part here, what I used is I'm going to move this palette around again. It's a stencil from Studio R12. So they're like frames. I'll put this too in the link now. So you're going to place this like this. Now what I did was I mixed this paint with some paste. So I'm going to use some modeling paste. It's media, and I also have the metallic paint, which is pewter. Now you're going to mix those two together. I'm going to take a palette knife. I'll move this so that you can see it. So I'm going to just mix this up. You don't need a whole lot. That might be okay. If not, I'll just make some more. And some of this. So I mix those two together. If you want it darker, you add more paint. If you know. So you really want to blend those. So you're going to create like a soft paste. So the blue toned down a little bit. So if I wanted it a little darker, I would put a little bit more. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take some tape and I'm going to hold that down a little bit so it doesn't move while I'm applying the paste. I'm going to add, it's a big piece of tape. And probably add one here because it seems it moves a lot right here. Okay, now, oops, I had some color on my, must have touched it somewhere. It's a very messy job, but it's fun. It's okay. Now I'm gonna just go pull this down and you're like applying this paste on here all the way down. Just hold it down. I think my tape was in the way. Yeah. Oh, I got some on the top. This is very easy to clean. Okay, I didn't lift it up. That's good, but I'll show you how to clean it. Like I said, it's very messy. So it kind of got stuck. So I'm gonna wash this off. And to clean some of the edges that went over, you just rub your brush along the edge there and that'll clean that right up. And over here. A little bit over here. Okay. I'll just clean up the edge. It's very easy to clean. Okay. Now I'm gonna just put that aside for 1 second and I'm gonna clean the stencil. You want to clean your stencil right away. You don't want to leave the paste on there. And I'm just going to wipe some of this paint off here. It's okay. All right. Now I'm going to clean this off. And I'm going to wipe the paste off the palette so that doesn't stick either. Okay, just use baby wipe to clean your stencil. And just very easy. So you can run it underneath water. Look at the tap. It's very easy to clean off. This is so off. There. Just gonna burn this up a little bit. Okay. Now, wait. Okay, now you want to dry your paste. I should have stamped before I added the paste, but that's okay. Blue. Does take a while to dry the paste up. Should have stamped before I applied the paste. That's okay. Okay, I'll let it dry a little bit more. While that dries, I'm going to take the ink pad that I had there, and I'm just going to apply some along the edge. So I'm just trying to figure out. I do have a smaller one. Might try and get my smaller one in a moment. I always think I have everything beside me, and I don't. Okay, so these are just the smaller ones, and they're good to like rough up the edges a little bit. Let's get those. So you're rubbing on like the sides there. So it leaves a little distressed edge. You can do the corners a little bit more. So if you want a little bit more, just lay it a little bit more flat around the corners. Whoops. Okay. I'm going to use the stamp set here. And that is from Stampendous, and it's the Vintage Note. And I'm going to use my ink. Okay, and I don't want like a whole stamp. So what I do is I move that aside for a second. So what I do is like just do the middle section. And I'll take this, and I still need to be careful that my sides. So again, and then I just lightly press down on it in different little areas. You can put some on the flower too if you want. This is your little project. Okay. Let's look to see if he wants other little areas. I like doing the corners and the edges too. Even if it's not a lot, it's like little section there. That's very pretty. And then I'm gonna add some spatter. So for this, you can either use these, there's shimmer misters. And I don't like using the spray because sometimes they clog and it makes a mess. So what I do is I actually just take the lid off, and you can either tap. Sometimes you can tap the little bottle. And then if you find they're big blobs, what you do is take a paper towel, and not all of it, but you can dab a few of it. Just to make it a little inky. I did get a lot of my flour, but that's okay. And then I'm gonna take, so this color here was turquoise, and this one here is violet. So I'll do the same. Just tap. Need to add more. Okay. Just gonna whip some off. Okay, and then I also added a little bit of some little gold. If you want to add that for like the little touch, I have extreme sheen. So I'm gonna add that. And there's different ways of adding it. You can also use, like, these are the encaustic. I think this is a filbert. So because it's different texture, just apply like this. Like you don't want blobs. So I want to make it kind of look like old. So I'm just gonna tap on the paper, so you'll get different texture of gold on here. If I want to make it a little darker, then I would go back in and tap some in there. So wherever you want to see some gold. I like it along the edge too. So again, I don't want blobs, I just want like very faint. So you have like gold on the flower. So I'm trying to be careful with the wet little dots there. Oops, just put my nail in there. There you go. Wherever you feel like you need it. And for this one here, I feel like I need some white spatter. I might add white to this one. So I have the white mister here. I think I'm just gonna do a little bit. Oh, I didn't want that big blob. This one here, you have to be careful. It's a little bit more watery than the other ones. I don't know if it's because it's a shimmer or there. And I got, so it's very easy to clean. If I find I got too much on my flower, I'm just going to take some off. Very easy to clean. Yeah, I think that's better. Just dot a little bit off. And I'm pretty sure I got everything. So 2 different ways. They're both done the same way, but obviously you get like different texture. This here I might have used a different color. I've done it so long ago that I don't remember what color I had actually used, but they're both really pretty. And so I hope you enjoyed this little art journal project, and please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and thanks for watching.